A lot of water efficiency has to do with the site. But what it's going to encourage us to do is use water sense fixtures in the home. And it's also going to tell you to be real careful about what we do outside the home and on the site. Why? Because in the city of Phoenix, 70% of our water is used outside the home. No better person to talk about that than Mary Estes, landscape architect. This is a billboard over on Thomas Road, put up by SRP, and it's saying just that. 70% of the water is outside the home. You have professionals like Anthony Floyd, City of Scottsdale, who spearheaded the program in the City of Scottsdale. I believe Mesa has it too. Get rid of your front grass, and there's an incentive. But Mary, please come up. I'd like to introduce Mary Estes, landscape architect for this project.
Hi, my name is Mary. I have a small firm here in Phoenix called Indigenous Minds.
Yeah, excuse me, just 1 second. Okay, so that's cool.
It's on, ready to go.
Okay, everyone hear me? I've lived and worked in several areas of the country. I've been in the Valley for 11 years. The name of my firm, Indigenous Minds, is a question I have, is at what point do we become indigenous to a place? I met Philip about 4 years ago. I found out about the LEED Gold home that he did here in Phoenix, which is very exciting to me. I did a little internet research, found out about G Street, looked at his website, and then I saw that he had a team of professionals put together, but there was an opportunity for a landscape architect. So I called him. And fast forward 4 years, we've done probably about 12 projects together, and this is the first new build, which is very exciting for me. This is where we started. This is the slide I was looking for. 20 lots, 6 pioneers moved in here originally. For some of the points, there was a natural resource inventory that we did. It was a very, you can't really tell by the slide, but a detailed inventory of every plant, every tree. There wasn't a lot of resources on the site, but there were a lot of resources, or on each site, but there were a lot of resources within the community. That got us a nice bunch of points. If you're familiar with the Lorax, this is part of my role here at Gordon Estates. The Lorax is a Dr. Seuss book about trees and forests and science and nature, and probably one of the original eco-warriors. I read a review online, and it said the Lorax has been described as the grumpy yet charming creature who fights to protect the world, and I'll let the design team decide which of those things apply to me. But for this project, I feel a little bit like the Lorax. So part of the protection of the resources that we described in the inventory was an incredible amount of protection. I've been on a lot of construction sites. I've never seen the ability to go to this level of detail to protect every tree root, to protect the soil from getting compact, to protect every little lantana and every little pastorella. It was very exciting. So part of being a landscape architect in a project of this nature takes a little bit of vision, a little bit of faith, and a lot of patience. So I don't always get what I want. I probably specify larger materials to go in, and I didn't appear to get them. But that's where the vision, the faith, and the patience comes in. Budgets were a big constraint. I do residential design, I do commercial design. For some of my residential projects, the budget for the entire installation of Gordon Estates is less than a backyard for one of my other clients. So I look for plants that I know are going to get big. I look for plants that aren't going to get destroyed by poor pruning practices. I looked to the context of the neighborhood and made my decisions. And I'm not done with my work yet, so this is the house that we're standing in, and this was the vision. The scope of my work involved just the front yards for all these homes, and subsequently some of the streetscape renovation. However, to help the homeowners get a little idea of how they can live in their yard, there are 3 different floor plans here at Gordon Estates, and they all fit on different size and shape sites. So what I did, I was asked, I got lot 1, 8, and 20. They said, can you please do a plan for the whole yard? I'm like, sure. What designer would want to do that? So there's always some common denominators in my G-Home projects. A piece of turf, always artificial, because we know how much water the grass uses. Appropriately placed shade trees to get, we can't put them on the side yards on this house on the west exposure, but we can put them where they might make a difference in the paving. Kitchen gardens are another G-Home standard, and this is lot 8. One of the kitchen gardens is kind of an interesting thing. We could grow food here in the valley for almost the entire year if we know what we're doing. And relative to the walk score, which I don't think Phil's talked about yet, but maybe we can improve our walking score if we don't have to go to the grocery store because we're growing our food at our home. Lot 20, a very tight little site, a corner visibility triangle to deal with in terms of plant selection. And this is a kitchen garden from another G-Home project full of tomatoes, which is one of my favorite food groups. And so with that, I will turn it back over to Philip. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Okay, great. So that was